What is up, Drew Brony? JJ back here with Holden Kushner. Talk a little college basketball. Holden, people might forget, but we were doing this quite a bit last year. Every Sunday. We did it for like 3-4 weeks, no? Maybe a little longer?
Oh, we did it for like a couple of months, man.
Yeah.
I think we started earlier last year, to be perfectly. Maybe it was the week right after Super Bowl. So we did like 2 extra weeks than this one.
Yeah.
I started out horribly. I remember last year, believe it or not. I started out horribly, and then we got to the conference and NCAA tournaments, and I made it back up. So I'm looking forward to today's show. It's been a while. I've got a few things on my mind I have to get off. Would you like to get anything off your chest before I begin?
Yeah. I think once again, when we do shows together, you just consistently show up unpolished. Your shirt's on inside out. It's just like this consistent thing where it's like, I'm doing a show with JJ. Like I could just look like a total piece of shit. And I respect it. The fact that it's like confidence, borderlining arrogance on your end.
It is.
But, I respect it.
Well, I want to say this. I combed my hair for this show. You, on the other hand, put a hat on. So I did try harder at my appearance.
You know what? My hair's naturally kind of got your look, right? Look at that.
You cut it so short now that you can put a hair, but you didn't fuck with your hair at all.
No, it's long. It's just glopped. That's why. It's
right,
long.
So anyways, I spent more time on my appearance than yours. I did put my special moisturizer on, a little bit of eye cream because I'm struggling today. It was a long, long night with the lady. A couple things I learned first. Anything else you want to get off your chest, JJ? Because I've got mine. I got 2 things on my list.
I just want to be clear that you do look like somebody who gets hydrofacials.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds like water with facials. So I will take that.
it's a good hybrid mix, and you do have the features of someone who's getting hydrofacials.
Once every 6 weeks or so, I'll give a facial, but I never get one. So I was looking at the tweet today, and it said your favorite zaddy. And I went and I looked up the word zaddy because I didn't know if this was a compliment or not. A sexually attracted man, especially an older one who is fashionable or charismatic. So I am an older, attractive man who is charismatic. I will admit that. No question.
Yeah. So usually zaddy, and I just try to, keep your culture on the young chatter, right?
Mm-hmm. I like that.
It's typically referred to like a long-haired, attractive, older male.
I don't have long hair.
However, the zaddy definition has taken some turns over the years, and it's actually become just an attractive male that's got a good personality. And who do I know more than Holden Kushner? Yeah. Attractive male, good personality, massive cock. I mean, what else?
It's average, first of all. It's average. Second of all, the looks have definitely declined since the age of maybe 44. So the last 4 years, I don't feel as sexy as normally do. But, some older ladies find me attractive, and that's really all that matters. When I was going through my divorce, some women in their 20s and 30s found me attractive, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. The next thing is, I don't know if we were a little out of it last night, but I remember having a conversation about Cocaine Bear and how my girlfriend wants me to go to the theater with her. Again, not sober, to watch the movie Cocaine Bear. Do you think this is a good idea, or should I wait for this to come out on, just pay-per-view? Because she said it'd be a better experience in the theater, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I get the premise of the movie. It just feels like they're going to lie about a lot of things. So a bear sniffed like $15 million worth of cocaine and for 10 minutes, probably like the most dangerous thing on earth before it died of a heart attack. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just can't imagine. Die? I mean, well, supposedly, again, like in real life, supposedly that's what happened. It just.
I don't want to see a movie where the poor bear dies because of coke. He died happy, but that's.
But I'm sure you're going to get a different take in the movie. Like, I'm sure the movie's going to make things extravagant in some way. But needless to say, I just can't even imagine going to a movie like that and like walking out being like, "Wow, that was awesome." I don't even know.
Sometimes you just got to suck it up. Like, does your wife make you go anywhere that you don't want to go, and then you end up going?
Yeah. I'd say it happens a lot more than it's supposed to happen.
Like where? Where do you like Home Depot or Bed Bath and Beyond, or is it parties or what? Where do you go?
So I'm not really a mall guy. She likes going to the mall. She does enjoy trips to the lavender farms, which I'm not really a fan of myself. Pumpkin picking is not my thing either. She enjoys that. I mean, outside of that, though, she's low maintenance in that respect. I'm not doing it often.
So it sounds like you do a lot of the things that I have to do, but I have kids, which is very odd. Like the pumpkin patch. I've got to do the pumpkin patch. The lavender farm.
Like, don't make me sound like a pedophile. Like, I'm not like going to Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, you're like,
it kind of sounds a little. It sounds a little. I wasn't going that direction, but now that you brought it up, I take my kids to the mall to go to the food court to throw pennies in the little thing. Maybe go to the Lego store. I also take the kids to the pumpkin patch. What was the other thing that you did? Lavender farm. I do. You know what? Once a summer, we'll go to the flower gardens. A lot of bees though in the lavender garden. I bet. In the lavender, a lot of bees, right?
Decent amount. Yeah, I'm not allergic, so I'm good. But yeah,
you're not allergic to. Well, they're honeybees and they're nice, unless you're a dick. But if there's any other like yellow jackets, let me tell you a story, JJ. Tell you a little story here. So, my son is at the time he's probably 2, and we're at the park. We're playing around, and all of a sudden, he goes over to some bushes, and he finds something. And what he found was a yellow jacket's nest. And I start hearing just screams of terror and horror. And I run over there and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? So I pick him up and he's just full of bees. And these bees, I've never been stung by a bee. It took me 40 something years to get stung by a bee. I got like 8 bees just constantly hitting me. I got them in my shirt. Sorry. I had to rip my shirt off. There's kids and grandmas at the park. They're looking at us like, what's going on? I'm running down the street with no shirt, a crying 2-year-old. I am screaming at the top of my lungs with all these punctures in me, just sprinting down the street with my kid. Open the door, shut it. We're rubbing. There was one in my hair that was still there. I'm like, ah! That's the end of the story. No, actually, the grandma that was there picked up my shirt and brought it back to the house because she lived on the other side of the
I'll tell you this though. Do you know what my favorite part of that story was?
Probably
the fact that you didn't take your shirt off, but you ripped your shirt off.
It was so bad because there were bees inside of my shirt, man. It was so. Have you ever been stung?
No, never been stung by a bee.
I've never been stung either. So it took my 2-year-old playing with a yellow jacket's nest for that to happen. So when are you knocking your girl up? Is she there yet?
She's not there yet.
Okay. After a while, practice just hammering home gets a little monotonous. I'm going to be honest with you. Like I tried for 3 years and finally we needed help for the first one. The second one just popped out. But boy, after a while, it's just like
we're at the stage where doctors are involved.
Oh God. That's in all seriousness, it's stressful. I know that it's stressful, very stressful because it took like she had given up and I was like, let's just try one more time. And it ended up working. And then the next time I didn't want a kid. I was like, I want to get snipped. And then I knocked her up somehow, some way. And I'm very happy I have my son. But, so you've been going through it then. You have like scheduled sex and it's awful. It really, everybody thinks it's so much fun making a baby. It's not. Like if it takes a while, it's just horrible. And then your girl is getting stressed out. You got to deal with her and you just keep shooting every night and it doesn't work.
Not to get too into the medical weeds, but it is not her. The issue is actually me. So
it's your cock. So you're in there just J-O-ing every day.
We're trying to figure out everything that's going on. But yes, the issue's with me, not her.
I'm trying to remember the name of the porn star for the one that I dropped that got her pregnant. She was an older porn. It was early 2000s porn. Maybe her name was Gianna or something like that. But I'll never forget watching that video. Because you cannot pick up the magazines in the no. Don't touch anything in there. It's disgusting. Like, why are you leaving magazines? Why is there a couch over here? The couch should have plastic on it. For those of you, listen, if anybody else has had to go to the sperm bank or not to the bank,
they give you lubricant.
They didn't even give me lubricant. I had to bring my own. The first time I went in there. And then the worst part about it is I go to drop it off. The girl that takes it is just gorgeous. Like I should have just taken a picture of you and just gone at it. So how many times have you had to drop batches in a doctor's office now?
Twice.
Yeah. I went 4 times. Wow. I went 4 times.
We're still very, very early in the process, so who knows? But it's twice.
Yeah, I don't mind talking about it anymore. But boy, was that first walk of shame a tough one. Like, don't worry about it. Everybody does it. I'm like, really? I'm sitting here walking with a tub of this shit down and I got to go give it to an old lady.
Do you have a fear that somebody like there's going to be like while this is happening, there's going to be like a fire in the building and somebody like batches through the door, you're pantsless, phone in hand?
No, but if that happened and it was that girl behind the counter, I would have been so happy. It just everywhere. But there's no way that they can disinfect those rooms enough to where. All right, whatever. We've gone down the rabbit hole today. I was not expecting this.
Apologize on behalf of where this show went.
I don't apologize. Listen, I've been where you are, buddy. Take deep breaths. It's gonna work. Don't let anybody tell you it doesn't work. It's just they take those pills. Or actually, you took those pills for so long, you just couldn't shoot it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I want to be clear. I'm not on any medication yet. Nothing yet. But we're at the stage where it's been confirmed that I'm the issue.
You're the issue.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's stuff you can buy online also that the porn stars use. That just make massive amounts, like you're a horse. Try that if you want to work on that.
As crazy as it sounds, like the amount's not the problem. Apparently, I have like antibodies.
What?
Yeah.
Like they're fighting themselves?
Yeah, that's my problem.
Oh.
Which they said is usually an easily fixable problem if they help.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Everything's gonna be good, JJ. By the time your wife stops scheduling sex because she's sick of it, you'll be. What time is usually the time of the day that she schedules it? Because is it a nightly thing that you're going at it?
Usually at night. Nights what works best for us.
How many times a week would you say?
During ovulation cycles,
twice a day.
Yeah, I mean but it's a brief window, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just has it gotten to the point yet where you do get bored in the middle and you have to think of somebody else?
Next question.
Yeah, exactly. That happened to me. I'm like, oh God, lady behind the counter, or there was a lady in her 50s at the grocery store who was very, very attractive as well. So I did that one day. Let's get into basketball.
Daniel thought this was a betting show.
My friend.
It was for a little bit. But it did go a bit off the rails. Just say a quick shout to the chat. Mike, Robert, AU, JC, Boy Jackson,
Zargo, Daniel. Oh, it's Daniel's first show. You'll get JO advice and like a pick or two.
Robert, I appreciate the compliment. I don't think so. I wouldn't have a bench competition with anyone, and I definitely would not have a bench competition with Holden. So,
what are you benching? Like, I don't max out. As a matter of fact, I maybe Mangone will take me on in this bench press competition. But what do you think your max is?
I'll be honest. Like benching's always been difficult for me.
Yeah.
I'm 6'1", but I have like long arms for somebody who's 6'1". I have
200.
long arms and small hands.
200
for someone my size. My max bench ever was like 275. Max bench ever.
Oh God, yeah, my max is 205.
Yeah, so 275. I did for a few reps. I'm not at the point where I can 1 rep max anymore. I don't have the tendons.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now I do hot Zumba, and it keeps me.
Hot Zumba, huh? Really?
Well, I'm being sarcastic. It's like high intensity training. It's like they call it circuit training. So I do that.
Did you lose? Is this and you did this for the RPS party just to look good for?
No, I changed. I was just getting too injured lifting heavy, so I changed. I went to my wife's gym. Started going to her gym in November, and I'm down down a few pounds. So
is it called Curves? Is it
probably 210? Probably 210 right now.
Her gym is called Curves.
Shred.
Shred. And are you drinking?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, so that doesn't help.
What are you, my doctor? I drink socially.
It doesn't help very much. Daniel actually wants to talk basketball. We might as well.
Why not?
We might as well. I don't know how long it's going to last, guys, but we'll talk some basketball. I even have a play today. So,
yes.
So remind me, are you going to eat Cardi B? You know what, Spencer? I must say Cardi B is just a disgusting lady. I do not want anything to do with Cardi B. Are you familiar with Cardi B, Dunkel? Like I really didn't know much.
I do know who Cardi B is.
I didn't know much about her until last year. My trainer is 24 and he's like, and by the way, I'm just eating like shit. So paying all this money is not good. But he showed me Cardi B, and I'm like, I've heard of Cardi B, but what a slut.
Let me tell you, I'm going to cut you off on that because I know for a fact if you're at a bar single and Cardi B walks up to you and you don't know who Cardi B is, you're not turning her down.
I don't know, man. She's a dirty, she's a slut. And I like sluts, but she like takes it to the next level. She's a next level slut.
What I respect about her is she is who she is. She ain't trying to be nobody for nobody.
I'm telling you, if she walked up to me at a bar, you're probably right. But I'm just saying, no raw dog. 0 raw dog with her.
I mean, I can respect your take there. I'm just saying, like, I wish there was more people like her, male and female, that they are who they are. They're not ashamed of it, and they're just living their best life. So
I'm gross, and I'm not ashamed of it. But if I looked at her, I would say I would not go raw. The other ones you can just tell.
There's so much fake shit out there nowadays, Holden, that you kind of have to respect somebody like Cardi B.
I don't though. She's just gross. She's just a dirty person.
Bart brings up a good question. You don't like the next level slut?
Yeah, but she's like on the moon, man. Like the more stuff I saw her, I was just like, gross. She definitely has something. But she, for the lawyer's sake, no, she doesn't have anything.
All right, so we could talk some basketball. So let's do this, and I'll give out 2 plays, and you give out the third.
And then the show's done.
And then we did a great job. It was another success.
That was it. that was our whole show. We just okay.
Another successful show. So
can I ask you something real quick before we get into it?
Fire away.
Which play do you want to give first? St. Bonnie, St. Joe's, Georgetown Providence, or Bradley Drake?
So I'm going to do the St. Joe's, well, for sure. So if you're good with that, then I'm good with that.
No, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
So hold on. So St. Joe's has been a team. So it's interesting, right? So St. Joe's has been one of the few teams I've gotten pretty right this year. St. Bonnie's has been a team I've gotten pretty wrong this year. Mm-hmm. Why I like this matchup in particular is more or less. So I like these spots in particular. A spot where a team comes off a terrible shooting game, or at least, both teams come off terrible shooting performances. Okay, and then match up with one another with differences in pace. So St. Joe's obviously loves to run. St. Bonnie's is a much more slower team, but St. Bonnie's will run with teams that want to run, especially if they feel like they can do it better. The thing with St. Joe's is they really rely on getting to the free throw line. If they're not getting there, it's going to be a long day for them trying to score. Perfect for them is St. Bonnie's is one of the worst teams in D1 at fouling. So I expect St. Joe's to do their work at the free throw line or get there in bunches. And look, St. Joe's also takes a ton of threes. Which, yes, St. Bonnie's is good at defending, but from a matchup perspective, the transition game from St. Joe's should throw St. Bonnie's off a bit defensively. I think St. Joe's gets there. And as for St. Bonnie's, the fact that they're going to get sped up by St. Joe's today, I like their offense to have a much better performance, especially since they're in the middle of a 5 or 6 game skid. Now, I'll say this, like the RPS folks will know, I was fading St. Bonnie's quite a bit earlier in the year, and I said this team's overrated in many ways. I mean, not that like anybody's talking highly of them, but I just think like people think like in certain ways St. Bonnie's of old, but like this is just a bad team in that respect. It sucks that I didn't wait long enough to be on this little fade streak of them because they've been awful for the last 5 games. Needless to say, I think this is a spot where their offense shows out a bit. Same thing with St. Joe's. The added pace will make things more forgiving in regards to shooting percentages. But like anything else, you get a game where both teams shoot, 38% from the field. This ain't going to get over. But I think between the forgiving pace, the extra fouls that St. Joe's should find themselves at the free throw line. And these two, I believe, met up. Was it a few weeks ago? Or is this the first time they're seeing each other? Actually, this might be the first time they're seeing each other, which is actually more beneficial because I don't have enough data to reflect off of the first performance. But again, I do think this pace plays pretty well. So I bet over, was it 149? No, that's the other game. So over 139.5, St. Bonnie, St. Joe's, DK.
I'm not going to be as thorough as you. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you today, JJ.
Hey, no, that's fine.
I wanted to take Colorado +7, but I just can't get this team right. They got UCLA today, so I passed on that. I took Stanford -5. That number's now 6.5, so I can't do that. Huskies coming to town. So here it is. It's going to be a very quick breakdown. We did very well with the Big Ten over the last couple of years, haven't we, JJ?
I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
I don't remember. So I'm going to take Illinois -4 at Ohio State today. First of all, Terrence Shannon's starting to get going, so that was nice to see. Ohio State's lost 9 in a row. They're one of the worst teams in the nation. 14-15. I couldn't even find them on KenPom, JJ. They're so horrible. I don't even know where they were on KenPom. There was some. There's a respect.
You're talking Ohio State.
Yeah.
71.
So not as bad as I thought. I thought they'd be around 200 because they're so bad.
They can fire threes though, Holden. They're pretty good at that.
Yeah, and then they'll miss them. And then there's also somebody that I know that laid a really big bet on Illinois that I respect as well. So already thinking that I was going to go there and then seeing that, my best bet today, Illinois -4. So very, very, very confident about this, JJ.
I don't argue it. I think overall, thing with Ohio State is,
but you never argue it. You never argue it.
They don't shoot a whole lot of threes. If they're not making them, this is going to be a blowout. If they're making them, could keep it competitive. Outside of that, don't disagree with the pick at all. And plus, where most of Ohio State's points come from is inside the arc, and that's Illinois' strength. So defensively, so needless to say, like the spot.
Good talk. What's your JO play of the day?
What is a JO? What does that mean? Oh, I see. I'm in tune with certain lingo. You're in tune with other certain lingo.
Yeah, we used to say that back in the 70s.
This is why we're a good pair, I think.
So what is your play of the day?
So the second bet I'll give out is actually at 12:30. It's another over. Similar. So yesterday I did a video on our Run Pure Bets, and I like targeting these spots where, again, you get teams off of decently poor performances shooting, and then they're going head to head with one another. So Georgetown and Providence, I really like this game over 149. I think it's up to 149.5 now, most spots. So it's only a half point, but I know Georgetown is tough to watch, right? Offensively, they're brutal. They have some of the worst ball movement in all of D1.
True.
But they are able to score inside. And look, Providence is by no means a team that runs, but they're happy to run with teams that want to. There's just a lot of angles here where Providence gets a lot of easy baskets. Just tremendous on the offensive glass. Georgetown gives up a ton of nonsense around the rim. And needless to say, Providence also is coming off a pretty bad shooting performance against a good defensive team in Connecticut. And now they're going to get a much softer defense in Georgetown. I think, again, similar to the game before and similar to the two of the games I gave out yesterday, I think we're going to get forgiving pace here. I think if we even get 45, 46% field goal percentage between the two of these teams, I think this plays easily into the mid 150s. So love the spot over 149.5, Georgetown Providence. That's at 12:30. So
what do you got going on the rest of the day, buddy?
30 minutes, another NASCAR show. I'm happy to be back in the NASCAR streets. So that'll be cool. Get back with Coop. And then our guy, Jason, who writes those incredible articles every big NASCAR race. So looking forward to getting back. Jason? He does he's a free NASCAR on Twitter.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, either way, excited to do that. So if you guys are obviously going to be in the NASCAR streets, that show will start in 30 minutes. Holden, what does your Sunday look like?
I'm going to be doing the show for VEASAN tonight. I was going to talk to you off. What do you got going on between 7 and 8 tonight? Anything?
I don't think anything crazy.
Maybe I'm on at 6, maybe 6 between 6 and 8. So I got to talk to the producer. They're out in Vegas, but it'd be nice to have you on to just talk about whatever.
Let me know.
So if you do that, we can plug the site and everything. Probably not the show, because this is something that normal people would like. I think that the elderly, the very conservative, probably would not be fans of this show. Marjorie Taylor Greene would not like this show. She would want us to move to another country. So yeah, that's what we got going on today. It's gonna be 54. I'm probably gonna walk the cat if I can find her harness, and that's about it.
Walk the cat. I'll say this, Daniel. Like, I'm more of a Cincy guy. So I like Wes Miller, who coaches that group. So I'm going to have some biased takes in favor of Cincy, which is why I typically choose not to bet their games at all, because I'm usually just off on them, again, because of that bias. So no, I wouldn't necessarily agree with the pick, but again, I'm a little biased on the other side, so it's probably not a fair take.
You laughed when I said walk the cat. I did find a young lady that walks her cat as well. So it's not that weird.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be clear. It is weird. Like, it does just because you see one person doing it, like.
Well, now there's two.
Like, yeah, well, I get it, but like if you watched your neighbor jumping off their roof onto like a mattress, and you started doing it, like it doesn't mean it's normal. Like, it's weird, but it's fine that you're doing it.
There's no danger like that. That's a horrible comparison. The only thing I'm worried about is like a hawk swooping down and picking her up, but I'm pretty sure I could protect her from that.
A hawk?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of hawks and falcons here.
I mean, but wouldn't the people who are walking their small dogs be just as vulnerable?
They should be. They should be. Listen, my neighbor, when I was married, I lived in a nice house. My neighbor, we had great horned owls in the backyard. My neighbor had these little yip dogs, Yorkies. And like all of a sudden they came over the next day, like, have you seen our Yorkie? I'm like, yeah, I did see your Yorkie. The bones are sitting underneath my tree back here. So your Yorkie was eaten. It happens all the time.
No comment.
There's also a town about 45 minutes north of me where mountain lions have gotten so hungry. There's so many of them, so aggressive that they will actually take your dog when it's on the leash. Aggressive mountain lions.
What is, in terms of the physical build, what's the difference between a regular lion and a mountain lion?
They're not quite as big as a lion. They're probably maybe half the size, but they've got really big teeth, really big paws. And they're, they don't like people, but if they get hungry, they're going after your dog or cat. Didn't you see the story here? Like Derek Wolfe, I think he's a former Bronco. There was a mountain lion terrorizing a whole bunch of people. So he went out and he hunted it down, which was not nice. I was rooting for the mountain lion, but.
So just so I'm clear on what your definition of was rooting for the mountain lion. Were you rooting for the mountain lion to kill this guy?
Well, just maim him. I didn't want him to die. But, it wasn't the mountain lion's fault he was acting like a mountain lion. He wanted to go eat some sheep.
I see.
Hey, let's call in Derek Wolfe to clean it up. Last thing, I'll see you at the party. It's a couple weeks. It's happening.
Yeah, I will be there Tuesday night.
I'll be there Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'm coming home in the early AM because I don't want to be there too long. And I heard there's fighting. There's fighting there. People fight.
I think there was multiple arm wrestling things. I don't know about fighting. If there was, I didn't see it. I know Kurt and DC arm wrestled.
That's two people that I do not want to meet. I'm just telling you right now. Like, I'm looking forward to everybody with those two.
No comment. But yeah, it should be a fun time. A lot of competition stuff. Should be fun.
Good.
Other than that, thank you everybody for popping in the chat. Just to recap, I have a few overs early. St. Bonnie, St. Joe's over 139.5. And then Georgetown, Providence over 149.5. Holden likes Illinois -4. So with all that said, gamble responsibly, stay safe, run pure. I'll see you guys in 30 minutes talking NASCAR. And then me and Holden will see you guys next Sunday. Have a great Sunday.